you go, what are you doing?
And straight up, they beat them 2-0
Yeah.
the last time Kongdoo played. So hard to argue with the results. They were sloppy games, but doesn't matter. The 2-0 win says volumes. So there we go. Varus once again banned, and we should see the Azir ban coming through again too. Nove has decided after that loss to Samsung that Kuro is no longer allowed to play the Azir, which I heartily agree with. His all-time record on Azir is currently 5-12. He tried to play it a lot last year. It didn't go well.
Maybe it would work in your favor, 5-12. No, but of course, the Poppy not able to be played by Smeb, so they go ahead and ban that out on the side of Kongdoo. But Kindred makes it through, and look what the first pick is.
Peanut's like, yep, another game on Kindred, just what I wanted. Without the Poppy there, which would normally be a ROX priority pick, and with the Corki and Callista already banned and Italy banned, yes, it will be the Kindred first. The question is whether Crush is going to go with the Elise again or whether he's going to try his hand at the Graves. I think you have to take the Alistair here. Kongdoo did ban it on the blue side in game number 1, and that's just a champion you do not want to deal with against the ROX Tigers, with Gorilla's heavy preference for that champion.
Yeah, they banned this out in the first game, so on the blue side, so would make sense for them to snatch this up. I like that somebody on Reddit thought that I was being completely serious the other day when I said that Gorilla was a one-trick Alistar.
Yeah.
I was like, are you kidding me? He's the best support in the world, maybe of all time.
Yep,
and,
he certainly is entering the all-time best support conversation, I would say. And of course, Sivir and Nautilus going to be the picks here for the Tigers. Waiting to see whether there will be a Trundle picked up here for Kongdoo Monster. They're going to have to show their top lane or their mid laner right away. But Hippo could be pulling out the Trundle, that's for sure. And then they could flex the Nautilus into the support position. But the Sivir, again, I was pretty sure they were going to take it on the second round of the draft. On the red side, if they had had the opportunity, it was picked away by Kongdoo. They may try and take away the Lissandra.
Yeah, could go for that again. But actually playing around with the Victor hover right now. But I don't think you want to lock in your mid lane quite just yet. Probably save that for your last pick. Maokai, though, somebody that we've been seeing a hell of a lot this week.
More Gnar.
So
let's go.
Could be Gnar. Could just be not support for Gorilla and Gnar on the top side of the map.
All right, this is actually a really good composition for Jhin because with the Cocoon and the Twisted Advance, it makes it very easy to get the Jhin route and then follow up with a bunch of damage. So nice pick composition from long range that Kongdoo has assembled for themselves.
Yeah, especially if they go in deep on the backside and he just uses the curtain call. It's actually going to be Victor for the side of ROX Tigers, though. So Kuro going to be picking up that one, and it's Gangplank for Smeb.
And Kuro is Victor. That's the thing. You have to remember, last year, Kuro was the guy who made Victor meta. He was the first player to really bring it out and show how strong this champion was. It's his most played champion of all time. He is 23-5 in his career on Victor. This is what you typically ban against him. Now, Victor has fallen a little bit out of the meta. We've seen it here and there. It's still a good champion, still has that nice wave clear, high damage that you can play around, but it hasn't been quite that same threat. And ROX, honestly, playing with a lot of zone control right here between the Victor gravity field and, of course, the Gangplank barrels, but basically no tank. So ROX, extraordinarily high damage composition, but not really a great ability to have these late-game prolonged team fights since the Nautilus is in that support position. So should be about wave clear and split pushing or creating picks themselves. But Kongdoo Monster have a very good pick composition. They've got that single target CC to lead into the Jhin route or the chains from LeBlanc. And Kuro will be forced onto that cleanse in the mid lane with the Elise in the jungle, and then of course the threat in the late game team fights from the Maokai. So ROX Tigers, if they're going to team fight with this composition, they are 100% reliant on the Kindred ultimate.
Yeah.
They cannot team fight in the late game without it. But when they have the Kindred ultimate, you put down the Lamb's Respite, you throw down a gravity field in it, and if they stay there, they just get stunned.
Yeah.
So, should be fun to watch.
Yeah, this could make for some very interesting skirmishes as we go later in the game. I'm especially interested to see Smeb's gangplank.
I'm really surprised he didn't take Gnar. Really surprised. He's a great Gnar player. We've seen that counter matchup more and more and more this week.
Yeah. We saw 2 Gnars yesterday.
Yep.
So, but Smeb will be Smeb. Doesn't have to adhere to your rules, Monte Cristo. Doesn't go for the Gnar. So, you never know. Maybe it's Tank Plank coming back. I doubt that one. But game 2 coming up here. We'll see if ROX Tigers can shut out Kongdoo, if they can fire back and find a win. All right, and here we are. So Peanut back on that Kindred where he is quite comfortable. We'll see if he makes any invasive plays this time around. Didn't see it really in that last game. Got some standard lanes, which means late Dragons, late Rift Heralds. But maybe this time we'll be feeling a bit more cocky and we'll want to go in and mess with Crush earlier on. Looks like Prey and Soul already found each other.
Yeah, they're going to want to try and lane swap away from the Jhin in this particular instance and make that attempt very early on. Bit of a... should be a lane swap coming through as Prey recalls from the damage. But they're actually going to fade back. Oh, where are they going? All right, they do decide to go to the top lane as suspected. So where is Peanut going to be starting? They could try for a very greedy clear here, and that's what they're going to be doing. Smeb all the way down.
Yep.
At the Krugs of the Tigers. And there's not going to be an invade, so they're going to get away with it. This could result in a 3-buff situation, especially since Gorilla and Prey are doing this.
Yeah, spotted out though by that ward on the ramp, so Crush and Hippo just going to slide on over and wrap around to those Raptors.
They're going to be seen though. And
So
they're actually going to leave. Wow, they're going to leave that side of the jungle entirely.
They're just going to go straight to the Wolves, so that's going to be a delayed start here.
Yeah, absolutely. Gugur taking a peek for himself. He will figure out they have started the Krugs, and that should mean that the Tigers have to path all the way over to the blue side of their jungle. They don't think they're going to go for the Raptors. Peanut here is going to be forcing Gugur back just a little bit. Smeb was in the bottom lane picking up a few CS while he could.
Well, Gugur gets one of the small ones. 2 of them. Actually.
Done. That's a good delay, but this invade could cost them some time at the turret. So Kongdoo actually playing this pretty well. They saw Smeb down on the bottom side. That means that Smeb is going to be delayed when it comes to getting into the top lane to push the turret on the lane swap.
Yeah.
So their response was to try and invade and delay the jungler further and take away some camps in the enemy jungle. And that's what they're going to do. They're going to go take the red buff and then drop down into the bottom lane to do the Tier 1 turret, and they should be able to get there just a little bit faster.
Oh, wow. Kuro getting chained up, not going to have the follow-up necessary, though. Edge actually doesn't, well, he doesn't use the Ignite. There's the, that's available.
Yeah, the cleanse, basically Kuro knew that
he
was going to be able to cleanse both the chains and the Ignite if there was an all-in from Edge, and makes the decision just to keep his potion running and hold on to all of his summoner spells, really knowing his limits, but this is Kuro's champion. Victor.
Yeah. Good aggression by Edge. So still has that Ignite, so if he gets another favorable trade like that, could potentially get that cleanse baited out, which would set up for a good cocoon play from Crush if he visits that mid lane. You can see though, this tower has already been set up and Hippo will be able to finish it off. But ROX have been able to replicate the situation in the top side despite that slight delay that occurred on the bottom side of the jungle, so turret's still going to go down at the exact same time.
Yeah, it was a really well-played lane swap by Kongdoo Monster, though. Credit where it's due. They read that situation with Smeb being in the bottom side and did end up getting a little bit of a punishment for it, so it was nicely done by Kongdoo Monster, and they'll be able to head back into their own jungle and pick up a couple camps as they start to respawn. Meanwhile, Maokai here just trying to catch up on the farm that the Gangplank has acquired in this top side. Smeb going with a really greedy early build of Sapphire Crystal refillable
Yeah,
potion.
just getting that sheen as fast as he possibly can.
I don't think the ROX Tigers are playing with a lot of respect to Kilios. First off,
Doesn't look like it.
this composition.
No tank.
No tank, all damage, like overkill on damage. Victor and Sivir, that's fine. You should play with a tank in the top side. Do you really need GP, Victor, and Sivir in the same composition with a Kindred? No, you don't. I mean, you're going to kill people extremely quickly. Your burst is going to be through the roof, but there's risks, as in if you lose one member of your team and you can't DPS down there basically 2 tanks fast enough, especially an Alistar with that ultimate, and you're going to be in a lot of trouble.
Yeah. Well, we can see 3 members up on the top side to take this tier 1. Sivir, though, going to make up for a decent amount of that man advantage because of the increased attack speed that she has over top of that Jhin.
Yeah, and also the auto attack reset on the Ricochet.
Yep.
So in any case, though, the real risk here is if LeBlanc, for some reason, gets ahead, any member of the ROX Tigers can be picked off by her.
Yeah.
Anybody can, even Gorilla, because of course he's not going to be that tanky Nautilus. So that could present real problems. So this draft has an insanely high risk and very low reward, in my opinion, associated with it. And I don't think the ROX Tigers would draft like this unless they were playing against Kongdoo.
Yeah. Maybe Spenu as well.
Okay, fair.
But yeah, once you get to Afrika, once you hit that level, you can't do that anymore. You can see though, Rift Herald going to be traded for Dragon, so 2 towers each, another global objective each here.
But yeah, the nice thing about ROX is like the zones are just so huge. The cannon barrage, the ability to get anywhere you want quickly with the Sivir ultimate.
Yeah.
The Chaos Storm, the Gravity Field, the Kindred ultimate. All these things, you can control choke points extremely effectively with this composition. And that's going to make it hard for Kongdoo to really get an initiation going or try and use the Kindred ultimate to their advantage.
Yep, so far just keeping it pretty even though. Edge has gotten himself a little bit of a CS lead in this mid lane, so that's good for him. We can see he forced out the early Negatron cloak from Kuro, so only his Abyssal Scepter will be coming in, but damage going to take a back seat compared to last game where he bought the Blasting Wand first.
Yeah, I think though this is, at least they're building respectfully. Very conservative build from this Victor, going for the Negatron cloak first. And they're not taking too many risks.
Maybe not so much on Smeb though.
Yeah, maybe not so much on Speb. Yeah, that Sapphire Crystal first. Obviously, it's fine in the lane swap. Didn't really end up mattering, but in a 1v1, certainly he's going to do fine against the Maokai in the 1v1, but even so, really vulnerable to ganks.
Yeah. Especially when there's only so many things that you need to cleanse with your orange, and you have to choose one of them.
Yeah.
So it's like, good luck.
Yeah, it's could have been rough, but
Yeah.
we'll escape that scenario. Wow, Peanuts here for a little bit. Think of a drive-by. Gorilla going to be joining up to no ultimate on Gorilla yet.
Yeah, level 4 and level 5 for Peanut. So it looks like they're just going to back off of this. We'll be able to find that pink ward in the brush, though, so they gain a little bit of vision for themselves.
Oh,
nice.
if they had stayed just a little bit longer, using that double distortion,
Yeah, that
could have been great for the ROX Tigers, getting some damage down and punishing the LeBlanc, maybe even getting the flash, but not enough follow-up to actually be successful. Peanut left too soon. He was impatient.
Yeah, well, Devourer Kindred. You can only wait so long before you need to get back in that jungle. Continue. I mean, he doesn't even have the Devourer quite just yet, so needs to hit that point when he can at least start getting stacks off of the kills. So a bit longer. We'll have it on the next back. But this is a little interesting. We actually, just ADC all by themselves up in this top side against the top laner.
Yeah, Bray's used to this. He's just being left alone. Gorilla heavy on the roams in most of these games. Not really one to stick with prey a lot of the time. Back up right now, though. Gets an incredible amount of deep wards in. Vision control advantage certainly over to the Tigers.
Yeah. There's some good vision in the bottom side for Kongdoo around that red pit, so they did just see Peanut taking it, so they should have the timer. But Yeah, good warding by Gorilla. Pink ward over by that red brush, and then just a couple more wards scattered into that top side. Overall, pretty solid. Playing methodically, ROX not going too ham. They have the odd team composition, so they don't want to get too crazy, overextend, and cost themselves a loss.
Yeah,
I think that would harm you mentally, losing to Kongdoo Monster.
This is a really delicate composition. It's so easy to get picked off here with the Elise and the crowd control of the side lanes, the Jhin follow-up. So you have to be quite cautious in terms of how you play the map. The deep wards will be quite rewarding for the ROX Tigers. I really have to condemn this composition from ROX. This is not good League of Legends.
So it's bad League of Legends from the best League of Legends team.
I've seen it before. I saw AD carry Varus from them. It was ugly.
Very true. May that forever rest in peace and never be seen again.
Okay. Cougar taking a look, thinking about the possibility of a dive. Soul here, waiting in the brush. Has that range. Here we go.
Yep.
Oh, no.
Uses the W, and that's going to give up the gank here. So.
Yeah, but they did delay the recall, which
That's
is
true.
helpful. They're going to try and 5-ban the mid lane. They're trying to punish this freeze from the tier 2 turret in the bottom side of the map.
Oh, Gorilla takes a lot of damage, and now rotating down here onto Smeb. He's pretty far forward, just clearing out these waves. He's going to have to back off. 4 members roaming down. I don't know if he's going to be able to get out of this one. No. Can they get in onto him in time? Throughout the W, flashes away from that, so keeps himself safe. But still, that would have certainly have been a kill if that route landed.
Yeah, Kongdoo doing a good job, playing aggressively, keeping even here into the mid game, and they're trying to punish this very passive farming style that the ROX Tigers are attempting to play this game.
Nice trade there for Koro. Re-aggresses back onto Edge and wins out the trade despite being the one that got jumped on. So like you said, he is Victor. Should just have a Victor skin that is his Koro's face.
That'd be interesting.
The bionic Koro.
I just want to see a robotic tiger Victor skin instead. I don't need Kuro's face. I need him to.
It's a tiger that shoots laser beams.
That's right. See, you got it. It's a robotic tiger that shoots laser beams. When the ROX Tigers win Worlds this year, that's what I want.
Maybe that was the original line in the script. I just want freaking tigers shoot freaking laser beams off their head.
I don't know if I want it out of their heads. More like out of its mouth.
Yeah, that's what you're. There you go. That would be awesome.
It's all right. ROX Tigers would have great skins.
They would. They will.
They will. Yes, they will. They will have great skins.
Maybe they should start doing something for MSI as well. Like the team that wins MSI gets some kind of thing.
More skins. I'm all for more esports related skins. I think those are great.
Or at least like the MVP from the winning team, like that champion gets a skin that's themed.
That'd be great.
I think that would be cool.
More esports skins.
I mean, I'm sure Riot is quite content with having more skins on the market. I'm sure they're very fond of that.
Yeah, sure. Oh, Prey here. Not actually going to contest this, so another Dragon, second of the game. Kongdoo will pick this one up as everybody's sort of recalling or heading up to try and take that Rift Herald. We're still waiting for some power spikes here from the likes of Smeb. Trying to get a couple of items in his inventory before really thinking about being able to deal with the members of Kongdoo Monster or output significant amounts of damage. And of course the Devourer needs to be completed too, so ROX is probably just going to be in a holding pattern for quite some time.
Yep. Koro's still delayed on the...
Nice
takeaway there for Prey. But going to be delayed on the Abyssal Scepter for a while. Seems like he's upgrading his augments. And
yeah, you need that.
Got the cooldown reduction for the Boots of Lucidity as well, so.
Yeah, I think this is smart. You just need that for the wave clear. If you go CDR boots and you get the upgraded E, that means you can clear the waves instantly, and you can do it more often, which keeps this LeBlanc in the mid lane away from roaming and snowballing off of the side lanes. And that is the key to victory right now for the ROX Tigers. They just need to farm to 2 or 3 items and then try and team fight with this ridiculously hard to team fight with composition that they've constructed that is very high risk. But it will be spectacular amounts of damage if they can do it properly, and if they can only fight when Lamb's Respite is up. That is the key. That is the one time they can fight.
Nice little rhyme there. It's like a half rhyme. It didn't end on the rhyme, but it was still...
It's all right. It's
solid.
the internal rhyme scheme I've got going on.
You've just been pumping those out. Yesterday you got the those who think buy a ping.
You have to sell your Doran's Blade, buy a pink ward.
That one didn't rhyme.
But that's the implication of the rhyme.
Well, ROX finally grouping up and sieging in this mid lane. They do have those powered minions from the Rift Herald. This tower's taking a bit of damage. But Edge has a blue buff. It's a lot of distortions and a decent amount of AoE wave clear, so waves go down, but it looks like ROX are just going to full commit here, 5 members to this mid side.
Sure, they absolutely can. The wave's up there. They can just put down the gravity field next to the turret, zone everybody out, and just finally finish off this turret. Great placement right there on the barrel so that nobody can defend.
Crush takes a lot of damage. Cougar goes in, gets popped up. This gravity field's going to lock him in. Soul with the curtain call popped. Can't really find too many huge targets. Looks like Gorilla might be the one, but a nice Lamb's Respite will keep him alive for the time being. Flashes away from Hippo as well. Prey finding a kill onto Crush. 3 members going down here. It's going to be Kuro falling on the side of ROX. But look at Smeb.
The crit right at the end there, the parlay crit. He did not expect that much damage to come out of the Gangplank. Thought he was free to trade. Smeb rolling the dice and coming up big.
He even had flash. He totally thought he was fine.
20% crit. Get wrecked.
You can see even he just has a smile on his face.
Well, I mean, Kongdoo should never have fought that anyway. The setup for the barrels there with the minion wave was perfect. It chunked out Crush before the fight even began. I hope we get to take a look at this. Watch Gorilla. Oh, we didn't get to see the start of it. Okay, so Curtain Call comes through. Cougar's the one stunned up there in the mid lane, and they deal with Edge right away. Then the GP ult goes down. They hold on to this, so everybody has to walk through the GP ult to even get to the Lamb's Respite for the heal from Kongdoo. So really good placement of abilities. They're going to go ahead and get the chunk damage down between Soul and Edge. Now watch this. Boop. But the start of that fight was critical because the way the barrels were set up.
The ending was critical.
Yeah, it was. The ending was definitely very critical. But Gorilla was zoning out from the side the first barrel, and then the second barrel came down right as the wave crashed. It ended up getting triggered and then hitting Crush. So Kongdoo should never have gone in on that. Remember, the ROX Tigers can kite you really, really well with all the zones of this composition. And I love the Venn diagram right there of the Lamb's Respite and the Cannon Barrage, because that made it dangerous for Kongdoo to even approach the Lamb's Respite. They were going to take damage. They were going to get slowed before they could even try and commit to the heal.
Yep, Cougar now getting chased down. It does have the Alistar ultimate backup, but there's just nowhere to run. ROX Tigers are waiting on all sides of him, and he goes down. It's going to be another kill over to Peanut. Now 2-0 and 3 on that Kindred. And 21 stacks. It's just under 18 minutes.
So I'm really committing with that teleport. Well, they can keep doing this with the turrets. Their siege is really good.
Well, Hippo has to run down from the top side of the map, so it's going to be a while before he can join the team. So they're going to at least be able to get a good amount of damage onto this turret. I believe the Lamb's Respite is available here for Peanut yet again. They're going to back off. Hippo coming on the side, but he throws out the sapling, so they know exactly where he is.
He should not have thrown that sapling.
Yep. Oh, Curtain Call coming out though. Kuro getting locked up. Actually goes back, gets rooted down, but Gorilla doing a nice job of the body block, but Hippo's still able to finish him off all the same. Crush on the backside has to repel to safety. The turret goes down. Prey gets jumped on the last auto attack. Not going to be enough. Smeb trying to put himself in between him and the LeBlanc. Nice. He pops the Mimic there with the Q.
Oh, the crit!
Oh, he gets rooted. Cougar goes in, gets a double pop-up. Nice Lamb's Respite down by Peanut, though, trying to keep him alive. Crush is going to be the first one to fall. Smeb finishes him off. Can they get on the Soul, though? Peanut has so much damage, but he's running out of mana. Jumps forward onto Cougar. One more attack would have done it. Barrel not going to connect on the Edge, and now Smeb and Peanut have to hightail it out of here. Peanut maybe feeling a little cheeky sitting in this.
Oh, there's a
Dragon
ward.
Slayer.
No!
Oh! Stands on the ward, and Smeb cannot finish off Soul. Peanut doesn't get rooted, barely, but the double distortion comes through, and Edge finishes him off. Bray now, all on his lonesome, fires out one more shot. Can he get it? No, Cougar with the headbutt fall. Bryce takes him down, and it's actually 6-6 now as Kongdoo Monster pick up a couple kills.
Oh, he critted Saul, but it wasn't enough. Just barely living with double-digit HP right there. This is silly. This composition is so silly. It's really fun to watch, but it is terrible.
We'll take another look at this.
I mean, I don't know what Kuro was doing. The
What
flash
was
right
that
there.
flash?
And the GP ultimate, trying to zone people out. They're holding on right now. And look at this. You can see they try and get the crit. They do get some damage down from the GP barrel. Smeb does a good job of just coming up, getting in Edge's face to prevent him from killing Prey. Fast forward just a little bit. They don't quite kill the ward in that brush. So Lamb's Respite comes through. 2 members on from the Monster, 3 from the ROX Tigers. Able to turn this one a little bit on its head. You can see Smeb right here. He's trying to get it. Edge not baited in, playing the outside of the powder keg range. And now Smeb, he's like, I'm a sneaky pirate. He's not even a pirate, he's a sailor in this one. He's a normal sailor. Still got the crit.
Just doesn't matter, though. He goes down, and then, of course, Peanut, the double distortion finishes him off. So Kongdoo coming back a little bit in those fights, evening up the kills, and going to get themselves their second Dragon of the game, I should say, 3rd overall.
ROX could definitely lose this game.
Yeah, it's just showing how fragile this composition actually is in these fights.
It's not a good thing when you're playing against a Jhin who has so much long-range damage. You have nobody to body block curtain call for you.
Yeah.
Kind of just have to throw down the Kindred ultimate and take it to the face.
Yep. And Kuro with a very odd flash in that last fight. I'm not sure what he was trying to do. But, oh well, what's done is done. Rapid fire cannon though for Soul. 2nd item on this Jhin. Now ahead of Prey by a pretty significant margin. 3-1 and 2 in kills and end up in CS.
It's all right, there are other damage sources on the ROX Tigers. They don't need Prey.
I mean, there's all of the team right now is damage sources on the ROX Tigers.
Oh, they're going after Jhin.
Yeah, on the hunt gets popped. Gorilla can't get the dredge line onto Cougar. Takes a bit of damage, and they're not going to be able to find anything. TP coming in, though, for Hippo. It's going to be home guard Maokai. Curtain call coming up. Kuro going to be eating these shots. Gets all 3. The 4th one coming through. He gets rooted down, but the Lamb's Respite is there to keep him alive, at least for the time being. Edge coming in on the backside, and Kuro already going to go down. Gorilla to follow quite quickly, and the rest of ROX are completely cut off from their base. Not going to be able to exit Bray, taking so much damage from that LeBlanc Crush comes in, executes him with a Q. Smeb gets knocked up, and he's going to go down. It's just Peanut saying, I don't know where to go, guys. And he's going to try to recall in that brush. I think he's going to be able to get out, but just like that, it's an even game.
I love that Crush got challenging smite in this game. That was actually so smart. We don't see that often on Elise, but that is incredibly helpful in creating picks against this high damage, low HP composition. So props to him for reading the situation really well. Now he's going to go ahead and build tanky after that. But that's going to neutralize a lot of the threat against him. Kongdoo take the mid tower, take the gold lead. And ROX, you can't engage. Like, they have no engage with this composition, so they attempted to...
oh, boy. Nice stretch line from Gorilla. We'll keep him safe for the time being. They're not going to land with a Peanut, but...
They tried to get a pick using the Cannon Barrage as an initiation. Now, let me tell you, Achilleos, Cannon Barrage is not an initiation tool. It's really hard to use it like that. It's just not enough of a slow to be able to catch people out very efficiently or reliably, and it's a really expensive spell to use when it comes to cooldown.
Yeah. Well, they tried to couple it with the on the hunt, but they just couldn't get in range of anybody in Gorilla.
I mean, they don't have engage. They basically have to hope that Gorilla hits a hook. That's it. Or magically gets in range to depth charge an important target.
As soon as he missed that dredge line on Cougar, I think they should have just backed off.
You gotta run. But Kongdoo had the good teleport, and they are moving into a gold lead now, and they should have control of this game. And this is a terrible scenario for the ROX Tigers. I think they're going to lose this game.
I won't count them out quite just yet, but it's not looking very good.
If they win, they don't deserve to win this game. Let's put it that way.
Smeb, oh god, why are you that far forward?
He's fine.
Nice to back. Crush and Cougar are maybe getting ready to roam down the river. Yeah, they're coming over toward that side of the map, or they're at least hovering in between. Smeb trying to create that pressure and maintain it here in the bot side.
All right, Kuro's the tank. He's going Rylai's.
Ah, there we go. We finally got somebody. What a game.
Quality League of Legends right here, everybody.
Yeah. This is the official I don't really give a damn comp by ROX.
Yes, it is. It's like, can we all play some of our favorite champions right now, please? Composition.
Smeb duking it out with Hippo. You're not going to do too much to that match.
No, has enough armor right now. Smeb really could use an Infinity Edge. He's working his way up to that ever so slowly. Has the crit cloak right now.
Well, Hippo's sticking around. He's just going to try to buy time for Cougar and Soul to arrive, more than likely. Nope, never mind. They're sticking to the mid lane. So Smeb will just be safe.
Time to take a blue buff instead.
I'm so surprised they didn't roam down and try to punish Smeb. He's just been so far forward for like the last 3 minutes with very limited ward coverage.
It's all right. No one ever needs to stop a farming, pressuring Gangplank, do they? I don't think I've ever heard that
This
before.
is okay, right? This is a good thing to do.
It's actually fine. They have enough of a tank line in this game that it's not really going to be a big deal, this GP.
Yeah, Crush
if they could just force a Baron against the ROX Tigers, sure. There's a danger of the AoE in the Baron pit being extremely detrimental to Kongdoo, but as long as they can get out of the Baron pit before a lot of these abilities that have the AoE damage or the AoE crowd control can clog up the choke point, they should be able to be fine and turn and engage smoothly. And with the Maokai, it does make it pretty easy. And same thing with LeBlanc.
Yep. Right now, they don't even have to worry about Kuro too much. This has the Abyssal Scepter and 2 components for that Rylai's Crystal Scepter, so it doesn't even have that much damage right now. By comparison to Edge, we can see Hippo waiting in the base, looking for a TP flank. He's going to find it, coming into the Raptor pit. Peanut already quite weak. Cougar with a nice 2-man pop-up. Gorilla going to have to tank the brunt of these curtain call shots. Flashes away, but still gets caught by the last one. It crits, and he goes down. Nice damage coming through, though. The Cannon Barrage is going to finish off 2 members. ROX Tigers turning this one around as Prey gets the double kill. Smeb trying to chain the barrels, but just can't do it. Edge waiting in the brush, maybe going to try to 100-0 somebody, but I think Kongdoo are just going to be backing off. See what ROX wants to make of this, though.
Yeah, they're just going to force the recall in. They can try and take the dragon afterwards if they so choose, and Kongdoo sticking around here right now, and there are a lot of pink wards.
Oh, Peanut, you're so low, and he goes down. No Lamb's Respite, of course, to save his life. Smeb taking a lot of damage as he gets rooted by that W from the Jhin, and just like that, it made it a 2 for 2. And Kongdoo looking like they're going to be able to get this dragon.
Well, LeBlanc was an excellent last pick to deal with this composition. You take an assassin to burst down these squishy targets. Edge has gotten to the point of the game where he is extremely dangerous, has a Void Staff now. Means that he can pick off targets, even like Kuro, who have that bit of magic resist from the Abyssal Scepter. And take a look at this fight again. They start to channel that TP immediately after.
And this was a bad flash by Gorilla as well.
Gets hit by the curtain call too, not putting down the Lamb's Respite early enough right here. They do get 2 kills courtesy of the Chaos Storm and Cannon Barrage combo. They try and follow it up, so I'm going to miss the damage coming in from his barrels. Prey tries to clear out some of these Jhin traps and pink wards, and I think they could have committed to pushing that wave just a little bit more than dancing around the dragon, so they could have taken it, but instead they give Edge a lot of time just to hide in this brush, and
poor Peanut.
He can kill pretty much anybody. Especially Peanut.
Yeah. You just have almost no reaction, period.
Well, he has Sated Devourer now. He has the Maw of Malmortius, so maybe he can survive if he gets that spell shield triggered.
And if not, he is going to be triggered.
I'm triggered by watching this composition, Achilles.
Yeah, it's... I don't know.
Credit, really big credit to Kongdoo, though. That last pick LeBlanc was great.
This is bordering on KT rollster levels of experimentation by ROX.
It's not experimentation.
Or not, well, yeah, not experimentation, but just questionable compositions, I should say.
Except KT was doing that, you know, in an actual match against a good team, and ROX Tigers is doing this against Kongdoo, and they're still on the ropes here. They've retaken a very minor gold lead, but they are going to have an immense amount of trouble actually doing this Baron with no tank.
Yeah, it'd really be all on Gorilla.
I mean, ROX Tigers basically have no win conditions with this composition.
Peanut jumps onto Edge. There's a little bit of damage onto him, but...
If you actually think about how they can win this game, can they split push? No. No, they can't do that because Edge will be able to move around the map faster than Kuro. And I don't think that Smeb is going to be able to deal with this Maokai particularly quickly.
Yeah.
So they can't really split push their way to victory. They have no engage tools. They don't have crowd control to pick somebody up. I think their win condition is Kongdoo attempts the Baron and Kongdoo gets caught in the Baron pit. That's how I think they win this game. Or Kongdoo makes a massive mistake on the map where they are isolated and in the world's worst position.
I mean, both of those sound very possible.
I agree. But that's how this game ends in favor of the ROX Tigers.
Well, it looks like Smeb's going to try his hand at the split push against the Maokai again.
So
he does have the
slow.
Infinity Edge this time.
Yeah, he has the Infinity Edge, so he can harass, but Maokai can just pop his ult like we're seeing, and then Arcane Smash.
Yeah. Smeb can also
Okay.
just miss all of his barrels.
Well, of course you can shoot the Hippo too, but you're not going to do a lot of damage. He's working on that Frozen Heart, and you'll heal up using the Maokai passive whenever you auto a minion wave. So he could keep him at the turret. He can definitely do that.
He did 259 damage with a crit on that parlay.
Yeah, it's not gonna work out too well for him.
I mean, if he allows you to sit there and crit him, I don't even know, 12 times,
yeah.
then I guess you could kill him. But actually, even 2 levels down, Hippo's doing a lot of damage to Smeb. And Peanut getting caught has to flash away.
Well, there's this Maw passive.
Yep.
Now on cooldown 2. So Kongdoo playing this out well. Not that it's particularly hard.
Yep.
But they are getting the poke damage from the LeBlanc before trying to take these objectives. They chunked out Peanut, so they know they have a chance to go in.
Cannon Barrage is burned out. No TP's coming in quite just yet.
But Kongdoo is not committing to finishing this Baron, and that's very important and intelligent of them. They don't want to be caught in that pit.
Yeah. Smeb will recall. Picks up the Hex Drinker. Wasn't sure if he was going for a QSS or the Hex Drinker, but he goes for that one, so. Double Maul of Malmortius.
I mean, everybody needs the Hex Drinker in this game or some form of MR to deal with Edge's LeBlanc.
Yep, doing a good job so far. In this matchup that was sort of handed to Kongdoo.
I thought the Tigers would be done with these level of drafts this season after how they lost to Samsung and just their history in general of maybe sometimes being very cocky in their pick and ban phases, like the Yasuo at IEM last year, where they had never really played that before and resulted in a loss to WE.
Of course, we've seen our fair share of Yasuos. We saw Mickey's
no,
yesterday.
we saw one. Is that a fair share? Is one Yasuo?
I'm saying through the years.
Yes, through the years. I wish Yasuo would come back. I miss Pawn and Dade playing Yasuo.
Well, if Nar comes back, we could be seeing.
It's true. Top lane Yasuo. Counter pick dream.
Thank you, Darshan.
No. Excuse me?
No, I know.
Thank you,
okay.
someday. That's what you mean.
All right, look.
Get your head out of NA. You're a Korean caster now.
I was in North America for the first 5 seasons.
It was like, Plato's allegory of the cave, where all you saw for your entire life was the shadows on the wall, and then you were unchained and released into the glorious light of day where there are actually real things. Yeah, well, that was Someday's invention. How dare you put that on Darshan?
Sorry.
You're fired.
You haven't beaten all of the North America out of me, it seems, though. Going to be the TP coming in from Hippo. Already throws up the Maelstrom. Not able to find the route quite just yet. Curtain call from the sidelines. Gorilla already down. The tanky front line gone for ROX. but Crush is going to fall here to the cannon barrage. It gets thrown down. Hippo has to flash away. Could get chunked out. Just a few more hits. Heal comes in from Soul to keep him alive. So far, just a 1-for-1. The jungle for the support. But of course, there's still a very tanky Maokai and Alistar on the side of Kongdoo Monster.
Ooh, are they going to try and do this Baron?
Ooh, Edge is coming in. Yep.
Decides to go back when he sees that barrel.
Those barrels aren't even going to chain.
They were intimidation barrels.
Yeah. Just far enough apart that they will not connect.
Yeah, as you can see, it's really difficult for them to even siege because they're low range. Now they can get close to the turrets and they can zone people out. Oh, they're going to do it.
Oh boy. Yep, Dragon gets started up by Kongdoo.
They can do it really fast. They'll just be really hurt by it.
The pings are coming out, so they know. It's just Cougar over here, though. Edge on the way, but look at that. The Baron goes down. What was one of those conditions that came in? Oh, you said they had to fight over it and die in the pit. You didn't say anything about ROX just flat out getting a Baron.
Well, I don't know why Kongdoo committed so many people over to taking this Dragon. Certainly it's number 4, and it is very important for them. And ROX actually finishing off this game with this Baron is still going to be hard because of their low range, but at least there's no more teleport onto Hippo. Now they can zone people off the turret effectively with the gravity field and with the cannon barrage or the barrels, but they still have to get pretty close to the turret to actually kill it, and that sets them up as vulnerable to teleport flank engages, but that was already used. Hippo had that one, and then instead of sending just a couple people over and at least having, they had vision on the Baron, they just sort of gave it up.
Yeah.
They saw it. They saw that it was happening.
They pinged it immediately. And
ROX can do it really, really fast, though, with
Yeah.
all this damage. But that said, you have to be there and at least harass them while they're attempting to do it.
Yeah. Well, the third tier 2 tower goes down. Bot side, Edge comes forward. Gonna try to deter them from this push, but Baron-empowered minions. I don't know if it's going to be enough. Maul Malmortius shield does get procced onto Peanut, though.
That's the problem, just the poke damage from his LeBlanc. Oh my
god. Yeah, Edge doing some work here.
If only there was a tank.
Curtain call. They need to block all of these shots. Peanut's out of range now, but Edge still coming around the sideline. Smeb taking a hell of a lot of damage on the exit there. And that's going to send ROX back to their base.
There's just no way they could siege with LeBlanc able to get in there. And the curtain call normally used as a finisher, but when everybody is so squishy, you could just open up with it and poke them away from any kind of siege with this Baron. So, okay, great. ROX Tigers got the Baron, but they can't really do anything with it. And Kongdoo is approaching that 5th Dragon, which with the true damage burn that's going to bring makes survivability for the ROX Tigers composition basically 0. We'll say basically 0.
ROX closing this game out, looking less and less likely, but again, if there's a comp that they can win this, or if they can win this comp against any team, it's probably Kongdoo Monster. So they're going to try to continue this push. But like you said, sieging is just not that great, especially with GP. Like, no 5 barrels anymore, it's just the 3. So it just makes it that much harder to, stack up these chains that can get in deep underneath of the towers to zone people off. And now a massive wave building their top side. Somebody's going to have to answer that soon, or they have to burn the cannon barrage.
Yeah, they can't do that. That is not an option.
Yeah, neither sounds good. On the hunt gets popped. Edge is still behind them. This could be really devastating. Curtain call coming through. Gorilla going to take up the majority of that one. Edge comes in, finds Coral, but the chain does not connect. Turret goes down. Gorilla gets popped up by that Pulverize. Nice Lamb's respite to keep him alive, but Edge coming right back in, not taking any damage. Kuro slowly getting chipped away, and ROX are going to have to try to exit here. Gravity Field gets thrown down to try to zone them off. Does Edge dare go back in? Takes a lot from that.
No Edge.
Death Ray. Smeb, can he get the chain? Throws out the barrels, but Edge just dips into the wolf pit, but it doesn't matter. Bray goes down, and I think that might be the opening.
All they had to do was wait for that TP to come back up so they could flank instead of going. They had already pushed them back out of the base. The Lamb's Respite was down. You just fight them with the TP from the Maokai while the Lamb's Respite is down. And instead, Edge gives up that huge kill, and Smeb just takes advantage of it.
Just Kongdoo things.
This is some horrible League of Legends that we're watching.
Well, the Kongdoo monster is clearly not a very smart one.
It's not a very threatening one either.
Yeah. Those horns are just for show.
Okay, so they burn absolutely everything to zone them off the turret and take it down. Kuro gets chunked in a big way. At least he's got the Abyssal Scepter and the Rylai's. Gorilla is going to get saved by the Lamb's Respite before they try and retreat off of this. Hippo, though, takes much damage. Prey playing the front line right there. And then they try and zone him out. And look how many wards they have to TP on. Oh, no. Edge goes in. Smeb here. Barrels. Edge has nothing left. Goodbye.
Quite literally cornered himself.
Ugh.
And now it's a 5,000 gold lead. And Gorilla is starting to look pretty beefy. Locket's been completed. Spectre's Scowl as well, so can finally start mitigating a bit of that damage, I suppose, that Edge is putting up.
Maybe just a small amount. At least he has the Locket.
Yeah.
That's quite useful. But the super minions all the way down at the ROX Tigers tier 2, so they're going to have to mill around this bottom lane for a long, long time. Kongdoo had the chance at the very least to push it out, and here we go. Yes. All right.
Yeah, there's 2 wards they can go to. One is pretty far away up the lane, the other in the jungle. So could go to either one of those. But ROX not getting too far forward still.
You can see they have a pink ward on their rear. That's just, they're trying to make sure nobody can TP to them very quickly.
Yeah.
But Prey's already been chunked out here. Smeb had to use his oranges just for a little bit of healing. Should be back off cooldown soon.
Prey's gonna go over to this Gromp and
They just want to
use that
pressure as much as they can before this dragon. And when is Kongdoo going to commit? There's a huge wave in the top lane.
if Hippo shows, well, he still has to teleport, but if he goes up to that lane, he will not have the home guards anymore. They clear out one of the wards, so it's just 2 wards now. One in that bottom lane, the other, the blue,
All right,
or the pink ward next to that blue trinket that was thrown down by ROX. They're just gonna melt that out. Crush gets grabbed up, has to repel immediately. TP coming in from Hippo.
No,
but
Hippo.
Not gonna be able to find anybody.
There was a ward behind the dragon pit.
Oh yeah, wow.
Oh, man.
What?
So, I mean, ROX set up for that well. They pushed in the lane. They had the zones already prepared so that they could retreat through the gravity field and the barrels to make sure they could burn down the Baron or the dragon quickly and deny number 5. So you can't deny that ROX Tigers, this is what's impressive. They really know how to play compositions very well, even bad ones.
Yeah.
It's about as well as you could have played that.
Oh, girl gets grabbed up. He's gonna get, ooh, nice flash.
My. Oh, wow. So he cleansed the Jhin root right there and then flashed before he could get headbutted into the other side, so he got headbutted the other direction.
That was really nicely played
Clutch.
by Koro.
Clutch.
Yep. Both summoners down. Baron spawned. Now both teams hovering around this objective, but those super creeps are getting ready to push in that mid lane. Gorilla gonna get engaged on. Pulverize comes through. He's eating all of the CC. The Lambs are spiked down immediately, and Hippo in the thick of it all. Depth charge goes through onto Soul, and that's gonna be Hippo going down. They do lose Gorilla, so just the squishy members of ROX remaining.
Well, just the squishy members of Kongdoo remaining, though, too. And they have
They at least
super
have an
minions to
Alistar.
deal with, and they're going to start up this Baron. They need to back off, but they can't take too much poke. They need to wait for the super minions to hit the Nexus.
Yep, Smab getting engaged on Rooted as well. Takes a lot of damage, and he's gonna go down. Nice crit by Soul, finishes him off. But Edge actually manages to make it out
Super
alive.
minions.
But ROX does kill Googer, so now it's Squish versus Squish. Crush, the tankiest member, still here. Prey getting rooted by that W. Can they follow up? I don't think they can. Super creeps onto the Nexus towers. Just gonna have to back off. They lose one at the turrets.
All right, I guess this is how ROX is going to win this game, maybe. It's just by distracting them and using the Winions.
Yeah.
They may lose an inhibitor turret in the bot lane, too. It's certainly going to be very low.
Oh my god.
Aha! ROX is going to run them around the map until...
We will let the minions win the game for us.
Well, there's no other way to win the game, so...
We don't even have to beat you ourselves. Our AI will do it for us.
As silly as this game is, and as horrible as the ROX Tigers composition is, again, you have to give the Tigers a lot of credit simply because they are actually winning this game and they are playing intelligently with the terrible tools that have been given to them.
Not given to them, that they took. They literally opened up the cabinet. They took out the
We'll blame
tools.
this one on Nofe. This is the coach's fault. That's what I've decided.
Just interesting.
Inhibitor is back up in the mid lane, but there are 3 exposed inhibitors here for Kongdoo Monster. But that's not going to stop them from winning the game if they win a team fight. Uh-oh. Here we go.
Curtain call comes through, finds Prey for the first shot, Peanut for the second, Kuro on the third, and Gorilla eats the fourth, so.
Has the Titan's Wrath Shield.
Yep, they'll stay pretty safe, and Prey gonna be able to heal up off of these Raptors. Actually takes that W shot, gets rooted down, that's gonna pop his shield.
Soul's accuracy around these traps with his W has been really good.
Yeah, he's been pretty on point. Prey walking over more traps, and Prey's gonna go down. Nice by Edge. That could be a huge opening here, but Hippo gets dragged in deep with the twisted advance as they go over the wall. Chaos Storm comes down, he's getting melted out. Cougar comes around, a nice 3-man ultimate. Root going over onto Gorilla as well as he gets chunked out. The Chaos Storm has expired, and Edge still waiting over the
They're
wall.
holding the
ROX
Lazarus
Tigers
fight.
are so low. Smeb getting a lot of damage from that LeBlanc. Lambert's Spite finally comes down as Crush comes in. Edge to follow up. 3-man pulverized yet again. Cougar gets grabbed. He goes down. Smeb finds the kill, but Smeb falls to Soul. Crush moving forward. Kuro's so low. Soul gets the kill. He gets the root onto Peanut. He's going to get the kill as well. A quadra kill going over to Soul. And I think Kongdoo Monster just won this second game.
Well, they're going to try and push through right now. They have 20 seconds for Prey. And can they do it? They have Soul, who's not going to kill these turrets too quickly. They're just going to try and power on through. 13 seconds. They got about 10 seconds to get onto the Nexus, and they've got to wait for this minion wave to do so. So I don't think they're going to be able to win right here. Maybe they can if they can kill Prey.
If they can pop Prey immediately with the LeBlanc, they can actually win here. Soul, of course, going to be getting that crit damage onto the turrets. On the hunt gets popped. He goes in. He takes a lot of damage. The chain connects. He has to go back to the fountain. He gets a kill onto Edge, but they're already on the Nexus. Flashes forward. He takes out Soul. He's going to take down Crush as well. Prey is keeping this game alive. The TP gets canceled out by Hippo, and just like that, ROX are still in this.
This is one of the dumbest games I've ever seen.
Oh, dear God. This is going to turn into that HKE MSC game from last night in the LMS.
Well, I guess nobody has Nexus turrets in this game. There are no more Nexus turrets for anybody at all. But,
Oh my God.
there is no teleport for Hippo. So they can't backdoor this. Maybe we could see Edge going on a secret mission, but
I think we just see
he's
them
dead.
forcing their way. It's Cougar and Hippo trying to keep
And
us
here's the
alive.
TP for Smeb.
Yeah.
Oh, I guess this is over. I guess ROX Tigers win. Okay.
Oh, it was so close for Kongdoo. So very close. Hippo gets grabbed up. He's going to just die or something, or at least make it back to the fountain. One of those two things will happen.
Kill the Nexus.
Yeah, Cannabrage trying to lock him in. They want to pad their KDAs, but Edge is getting ready to spawn in 5 seconds, but here they are. Onto the Nexus. Cougar not going to be able to do anything. And ROX Tigers, after one of the dumbest games that I have seen, win in 47 minutes.
Honestly, credit to Soul, who actually played really well on the Jhin that game.
That
And
was a solid performance.
Edge had some nice poke attempts. I like the draft a lot from Kongdoo. I'm actually really upset they didn't win that game because they absolutely deserved to. I think their draft was solid. I think, you know, besides some critical errors, that ROX just really pulling the rabbit out of the hat on that one.
That was
Unlucky.
ridiculous. I mean, if you're Kongdoo at this point, you know you're not making playoffs. You can at least have fun with that game and have some laughs out of it. So
I'm impressed actually at Soul's Jhin. I think he played it really well. I think his W
Yes.
accuracy from the traps was super good.
yeah, his roots were constantly
He
on
did
point.
the most damage in that game out of anybody.
Yeah, he beat Smeb by 5,000 and did almost 40,000 damage overall. Edge was hot on his heels as well, pushing about 34,000. So yeah, Soul playing really well. I think Soul should still get MVP regardless of the loss. Should just give it over to him because I don't think
You can see they're even laughing about that.
who do you
game
even
was
give
ridiculous.
MVP to on the side of ROX?
Nobody. Me for having to watch that.
You take the MVP away from Peanut in the first game as punishment. Nobody gets it for this series.
I think you give it to Smeb, honestly, but that was a bad game.
Yeah, like I said, I'm glad that Kongdoo could have fun with that. You can see they're still chuckling about it, for the most part having fun. They know that this isn't going to impact them too much, so.
It was a winnable game for them for sure, too. They
Yeah.
kept in there very nicely.
Yep, solid stuff from them.
This is where you worry about the ROX Tigers, because I think they're slowly turning into Samsung White, where they just start to draft compositions that make no sense. Samsung White used to do this all the time. They would face a lower tier team, they would draft horribly, and then win anyway.
All right, well, when we come back, we'll have an interview with our MVPs in set 2 for tonight.